Good morning. Good morning. Y'all give me a second. I am going live in several places at the same time. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to just, again, briefly be fully transparent. I have 3 different cameras going, so my eyes are going to kind of move around a little bit. So welcome, and thank you for joining me. Sorry, Instagram, I hit that camera. Okay, so today I want to talk to y'all about balancing self-care and family life. I know a lot of moms and a lot of wives struggle with this topic because when I was married, this was something that I personally struggled with. And even now, just as a mom, I still have to constantly remind myself to keep a balance. So we're going to just get right on into it. I don't want to keep y'all super long. So if you have questions, thoughts, comments, just drop them down in the comment box below and I will respond to them as I see them and answer questions at the end. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jessica Fields and I'm the founder and owner of the J Fields Co brand. Now, there are a lot of common challenges that moms and wives face when trying to prioritize self-care. So I want to briefly hit on some of them. If any of them resonate with you, comment below. Like, oh, that's one I've dealt with in the past, or that's something that I currently deal with, or whatever the case may be. Time constraints. That I feel like is our biggest one. Juggling family responsibilities, work if you work outside of the household, and work inside of the household, meaning household chores, paying bills, grocery shopping, cleaning your home. Doing all of those things together sometimes leaves very little time for self-care. So I know a lot of moms and wives struggle to find even a few minutes for themselves. Another thing that I notice is an issue from time to time is guilt. Sometimes we feel guilty for taking time for ourselves. I apologize. I saw something I needed to check. Sometimes we feel guilty about taking the time for self-care when there are so many other tasks that we need to be attending to. You're too busy thinking, like, say you're at a spa, and I personally have found myself guilty of this. I'm getting a massage, and while I'm getting the massage, I'm thinking, okay, when you leave here, you're gonna have to go and pick the dog up from the groomer. Okay, and then after I get the dog, okay, I gotta make sure I pick up my grocery order on time because HEB has already called me or emailed me, texted me, and said your order is ready to pick up. Then when I get home, I have to do A, B, and C, and D. So you start thinking, is it really imperative that I go get this massage, that I go take care of this time for me when I've got 50 million items on my to-do list that's going to take care of my household? If you've been guilty of it, let me know in the comments. Another common challenge that moms and wives face is lack of support. Sometimes just not having a proper support system in place, such as a partner or even extended family members, that makes it challenging for you to find time for your self-care because there's no one else to rely on. I find this is more prevalent in single parent households, or if you say you're like, I'm just a wife, I don't have children, you still have to help manage your home for you and your spouse. So lack of support can still come into play. Guilt can still come into play. Time constraints can still come into play. Another factor or common challenge is burnout. We're constantly prioritizing the needs of others over our own self-care, and it leads to burnout. It leads to exhaustion. It leads into a decrease in the overall well-being of yourself. Another thing or common challenge is the lack of knowledge. Sometimes moms and wives just don't know where to start with self-care, or you just feel overwhelmed with all of the options out there, so you don't know what you can do within the parameters that you have, whether that's financial constraints, lack of support, time constraints, or whatever the case. Sometimes stress and anxiety, meaning like you're so stressed out, you have so much going on that it's a challenge just to focus on the self-care. I find women in general, our minds are constantly on. Not gonna lie, biggest pet peeve, you can ask a man, what are you thinking right now? You can even ask a young boy, what are you thinking? And they'll go, nothing. Blows my mind because at any given moment, you can ask me what I'm thinking. I've got 10 things bouncing around in my head. Now, maybe that's just because I'm a mom. Maybe that's because I'm a business owner. Maybe that's because I'm a homeschooling parent and there's just so much to do. But for me, my brain is always on. So sometimes stress and anxiety can prevent you from totally relaxing in the moment. Actually, when clients come in to see me in the spa, one of the things that I do now, right before I start their service, especially with facials, I do aromatherapy. I'll put an essential oil in my hand and then I'll kind of hold my hand or hover it over their face. And then I'll say something like, okay, take deep breaths for me. And in the 3 deep breaths, I'm going to say, okay, in this moment, I want you to be present. I want you to be here. I want you to let go of all the things in your mind. This allows them to check in to this moment and really relax and cater to themselves. So stress and anxiety could be something that prevents you from being able to take care of yourself. And sometimes social expectations can be an issue. Cultural norms can be an issue. Sometimes those things pressure women, specifically moms and wives, to put the needs and expectations of others above their own. But I want to tell y'all two statements that I absolutely love and I use more and more. You cannot fill from an empty cup. If you are empty, you cannot pour quality into your husband, into your wife, into your children, into your family, into your business, into your job. So you have to make sure your own cup is filled before you can fill others. Now, I'm talking about balancing self-care and family life. Y'all bear with me. My son needs my attention. So just 2 seconds. What is the problem?
I'm asking for your permission. So it accidentally logged me out.
Okay. Did you already ask it?
It says waiting for permission.
Okay. So have a seat and I'm going to log in and I'll give you permission and you can get back to it. Okay, guys. So this year we are homeschooling because I live in Houston, Texas. And right now the ISD systems, which is the independent school districts, I'm not real crazy happy about. And there were areas I really just wanted to give my son more one-on-one care. So we decided to homeschool. So I created this extremely in-depth curriculum for him in all the areas that I knew he specifically needed help in. And occasionally he has to need my assistance. I have to actually teach lessons and so forth. And this is one of those moments. We're actually doing a typing lesson and he's trying to get in. Okay, give me a second. For some reason, JJ, it's not letting me go into my email.
Maybe you have to do it on your phone.
I can't. I have lives on my phone.
Oh.
Okay, I got it. Okay, shh, I got it. It should update in a second. Okay, guys, back to y'all. Okay, so I just gave y'all several different things that are common challenges that moms and wives face, and I'll hit those again. Time constraints, guilt, lack of support, financial constraints, burnout, lack of knowledge, stress, anxiety, and social expectations. If those are any areas that you yourself have personally felt have hindered you from really taking care of yourself, y'all comment below. And while you guys are commenting, I want to give you the second statement. I didn't forget. I told you how you can't pour from an empty cup. That's one statement. The second statement is self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Now, certain types of self-care can be considered a luxury because of the cost that's associated with it. But self-care does not have to cost you, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Now, luxury self-care is going to cost you a pretty penny because I do personally offer some luxury services and luxury products. But I want you to understand self-care doesn't have to be expensive. Self-care is just taking a moment to take care of yourself. And I am going to go into detail just a little bit more. So far, you guys haven't commented yet, but that's okay. Don't feel shy. I want you guys to realize this community is a loving, a caring community. There is no judgment, because I can personally tell you some of my own stories, which actually I will tell you one right now just so you guys can see the full transparency. So I was married before. I was married for 9 years, and a result from that marriage is my son, JJ, who I was just briefly talking to. I'm the type of person, I love taking care of my home. I love taking care of my friends and family, meaning I love to cook. I love to serve. So generally family functions with my family, Jessica's in the kitchen. Jessica does not mind. She loves cooking. She comes across new recipes and I call friends and family up. Hey, try this. Let me know what you think so I can tweak it. I want to serve it at a family function. birthday parties. I'm thinking of DIY things because I love doing stuff like that. So I'm all into that. And when I was married, I was constantly pouring into my husband. And we had my son, I think, about 5 years into the marriage. So then I started pouring into my husband and into my son. And there were moments where I knew, Jessica, you look like crap. This dress you have on is 30 years old. Now I'm exaggerating, and this is not to say you can't wear clothes that are old, but the clothes weren't quality clothes, so they didn't look good. Maybe they were ill-fitted. Maybe they were dingy because they had been washed so many times. But the point was, I realized, Jessica, you do not look put together, and this is not your normal. Your husband looks great in his brand new suit. Your son looks good in his clothes, and he's taking care of him, and he's got all the snacks and the gizmos and the gadgets. Everybody else in your family looks really wonderful, but you're over here struggling and looking motley. So I had to personally realize, okay, what can I do so I can start taking care of me more? Because I don't want to be falling apart at the seams, but the rest of my family looks so well put together. So I want you to realize at that time, when I realized all those things, I was dealing with three of the common challenges I just told you about. I was dealing with financial constraints. I didn't have the money that I wanted to have to pay for everything that I wanted to do the way I wanted to do it. So that led to stress and anxiety, which led to burnout. So I was dealing with a lot of things myself before I realized at one point, you've got to do more. You got to start taking care of yourself. Unfortunately, I didn't start taking care of self until after my ex-husband and I divorced, but I'm doing better now. And now my goal is to teach other moms and wives how to take care of themselves so it doesn't begin to negatively impact your life in the way that it impacted mine at that time. Now, I just talked about personally how it impacted me. I want to tell you guys about the emotional and the physical toll neglecting self-care and balancing your family life can have on you. I just told you about one of the common challenges was anxiety and stress. When you don't take care of yourself or you don't balance your life and your family very well, it increases your stress level. The constant focus of needs of others while ignoring your own is going to create a sense of overwhelm, emotional exhaustion. It can lead to mood swings, irritability, and feelings of frustration. When you are constantly on edge and stressed, it impacts your emotional stability. Now, moms, I'm specifically talking to you. You have worked 8 hours a day, depending on your job, sometimes 10, 12, 14, whatever kind of role you have. You have worked hard supporting the people on your job. If you have a business, even more so. You took care of business, you took care of customers, you worked with your team. Then you got to go home and deal with your husband and deal with your children. But because you're so exhausted mentally and physically, your mood is terrible. So you're just snapping left and right at the kids and at the husband. And they're just like, well, I just wanted to ask you how your day was. I just wanted a hug. But you're like, I'm tapped out. I'm completely tapped out. I can't hug you again. I cannot be touched again because your cup is empty. So this is why it's so imperative that we take care of ourselves and balance our family life. So another thing, way this affects you emotionally and physically, we already talked about burnout, but it lowers your self-esteem. When you're constantly and consistently putting your own needs last, you erode your own self-esteem. You begin to feel less worthy or capable, which impacts your overall mental health. That's kind of how I felt when I realized, Jessica, girl, you look crazy. You out here, not necessarily in mismatched stuff, but just looking motley, homely, looking not put together. So your self-esteem starts to get lower. You hang your head a little bit lower. Your eyes are downcast. And that's not my personality. So I want to encourage you all, take note of your own self right now and how you're living and how you're looking, how you're feeling, so that we can address those things and make changes. Now, another physical and emotional toll is it can take relationship strain, which can lead to depression and anxiety. Sometimes that leads to where you need professional intervention. Neglecting yourself can lead to physical health issues. So self-care, remember I told you, it doesn't have to be costly. It can be as simple as exercise. Sometimes you can invest in exercise equipment for your home. Sometimes it could just be a walk around the block outside, getting fresh air, getting sunshine, vitamin D. By neglecting your physical side of self-care, which is your exercise and nutrition, adequate sleep That can lead to a range of health problems, including obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. And we know some of those things are very prevalent in the Black community. So let's not add to that. If it can be as small as taking care of yourself to decrease your chances and risk of having health problems such as obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, let's do that. Let's take a 20-minute walk outside. And if you have an Apple Watch, I do. I don't have it on at the moment. It will tell you, we need you to get up and move. You have not moved, so we need you to move for a minimum of 1 minute. And it's supposed to do that every hour. But if you take a quick brisk walk around the neighborhood, take your dog with you. If you're homeschooling, take your kid with you. Y'all point out the birds, the trees, the whatever. Just say hi to your neighbors. That can give you a good boost. That in itself is a little bit of self-care. Now, other physical tolls is neglecting self-care can lead to fatigue. We talked about that, not getting adequate sleep. It can lead to digestive problems, such as indigestion, irritable bowel syndrome, and other gastrointestinal problems. It can lead to skin and hair issues. And neglecting self-care, meaning not doing your skincare routine, so not washing your face at night. If you're highly stressed and you're not washing your face, say you're not changing your sheets enough, or you have products that you're using that is just clogging the pores, those are going to lead to skin issues, breakouts, hyperpigmentation, so dark marks, can lead to hair loss. And you know, as women, we want pretty hair. Whether we want it long or short, we want it to be pretty. Muscle tension. Stress and neglect of relaxation practices, which could just be a breathing technique or a massage, it actually can lead to muscle tension, pain, such as headaches, neck, and back pain. Now, I've just given you a slew of issues, a slew of challenges that just from neglecting self-care, you can bring about to your body. Please have a seat and get back to work. Thank you. That can lead to affecting you personally, but it also can affect your families, because without you, where are they going to be? Now, once you start taking some self-care, whatever that may be, you can reap the benefits of improved mental health, enhanced physical health, stress reduction, increased self-esteem, better relationships with your spouse, your significant other, your children, your colleagues, your friends, your family, whatever. Greater productivity and enhanced creativity. By just going and doing some self-care where you get quiet somewhere, you have the option to, oh, you know what? I haven't drawn in a while. I haven't painted in a while. I have a desire to do something, and fresh ideas can flood your mind. But if you don't take a moment to take care of yourself, to get quiet with yourself, that enhanced creativity may not happen. Your family also reaps benefits like positive role modeling, because you now have a better attitude. You can address your significant other better. So you're now being a better role model to your children of how you're supposed to treat your spouse and significant other person. You are an improved parent because you are now being kind. You're able to give them the love and the physical touch that the children may need in that time versus snapping and biting at them. You have enhanced communication, because once you take care of yourself, you can think about a good sentence on how you want to address good things, bad things. Because sometimes if you're in a bad space and somebody brings a problem to you, you just snap. Instead of saying, give me a moment, let me think about the best way to handle this. And then you react, and then you have to come back with the I'm sorry, forgive me, I apologize, or whatever the case may be. But if you start taking care of yourself, your mind is in a better place for you to be able to speak and communicate better to your friends and family. It reduces conflict because you'll know what to say and when to say it. It also just leads to overall well-being. That's what I'm trying to say. Taking care of yourself leads to overall well-being for yourself. Now, saying all of that, have I convinced you all how important self-care and implementing it in your life and creating balance for your family life, how that can help you? Comment below. Tell me. I want to hear from y'all. Now that I've shared all those common challenges and I've shared with you some benefits, do you see how important self-care is? Now, I want to share with y'all some practical tips and strategies for integrating self-care into a busy family life, because I know personally I'm busy and I know you all are too. So I want to share some quick things with you that you can implement right away and don't cost an arm and a leg. The very first thing I want to encourage you to do is to have time management techniques. As moms and wives, we know the importance of a structured time schedule. I personally am not a very spontaneous person. I don't have a life full of spontaneity. I have a very strict schedule. I'm gonna wake up at this time of the day. I'm gonna spend some time with God, looking at my goals, just doing some self-reflection. That's how I'm gonna start my day. Then eventually I'm gonna make my way into my kitchen and make a pot of coffee. Then I'm going to get my son situated, go through his morning routine, go down the list with him. These are the topics we're going to cover in class today. Yes, you're going to get breaks. Yes, you're going to get lunch. I also have a menu on my refrigerator on a dry erase board. This is what breakfast is. This is what lunch is. This is what your snacks are going to be. So I'm not constantly being bombarded with questions throughout the day. Well, what time is lunch? What time is snack? Or what am I going to have? What's for dinner? Go look at the calendar. It's up there. I live by a structured schedule each and every day. Yes, on vacation, I'm a little bit more spontaneous, meaning like my family will not allow me to create an extremely detailed itinerary where every minute of the day is taken. I am allowed, and I kid you not, my family has allowed me the option to hit 2 or 3 highlights. These are things I recommend we do. The kids would like this, you would like this, I would like this. Now, how are we gonna play the day out to do those things? Now, that's something personally my family does with me, but I'm just telling you how important time management can be to taking care of a household, whether that involves managing kids or just managing the home. The next thing I want to encourage you to do is to set boundaries and communicate effectively with your family members and those that are in your home. I shared a tip on my stories on Instagram and Facebook earlier in the week, and I told you guys to go and open up YouTube from your computer, like in a central space, your living room, your den, somewhere where the family can see it. They're walking by and can see it. And go and set a timer. I did a 60-minute timer. I did it this past weekend. I tested the theory out. And I had my son and my nephew, so I had my kids over, and I said, hey, mommy needs some, my son calls me mom, and my nephew calls me mamas. I was like, mama needs some time. I'm going to go and soak in the bathtub. I'm going to go and run me some cool water because it's hot as fire outside. And I'm going to sit in the tub and I'm going to play on my iPad. I'm going to search my phone. I'm just going to have a good time. I'm going to set this timer. It was a 60-minute timer. And I told them, you may not disturb me until this timer goes off. Now, of course, there is an exception to the rule. Now, I have boys, so I had to be very graphic with my exception. I told them, the only reason you come and disturb me is if you have fallen off of a dresser and you have bone protruding from your leg. You are bleeding profusely and unable to make it stop. And they're like, oh, God, mamas, what are you talking about? This is how serious it is. I need you to be life-threatening for you to come get me out of this tub. They laughed. They said, okay, we get it. And for 60 minutes, I got to just do me. I got to pour back into myself, refill my cup so that I can then pour into them, which we were going to do movie night, have dinner, and all of that. But it had already been a long day for me, so I needed to kind of recharge my battery so that I was in my best to take care of them. And I distinctly remember actually coming out the bathroom, coming out of the bathroom and then coming out of my master bedroom, and the timer still had a few seconds left on it. And as soon as it started chiming, it was like chirp, chirp, chirp. One kid I can hear from the back of the house go, I think that's the timer. I think she's free. And then like thunder, you hear them stomping down the hallway to come and see me. But they honored that because I set that boundary and I communicated effectively with them. I need this time. You guys are good in here. You're going to play your games. We're not going to eat any snacks right now. You guys know how to get water and drinks if you need it. But y'all are good. I set a boundary. I communicated effectively with them. And I was able to enjoy myself. This is what you all need to do. Also, I encourage you just to create a self-care schedule or routine. This can be as simple as completing your morning routine, your evening routine, meaning cleansing your face, toning, exfoliating, moisturizing, or whatever the case may be. Please sit up and focus on work. It can be as intensive as going to the spa once a month, and you can go for just a facial, you can go for a waxing, you can go for a massage or a body scrub. Now, y'all know I have a spa here in Houston, Texas, but I myself go to a spa. I go to specifically a Korean spa once a month, and I usually go with my sister. My bestie, we'll go and we do the whole day. And when I say the whole day, it's normally like 5 to 6 hours. We're there at the spa doing several treatments and just refilling our own cups, recharging our batteries. I call it my mental day. It allows me to go in and just get myself completely refreshed and put together again so I can come back and pour into my clients, my customers, and my family. So I want y'all to think about that. Now, yes, that costs a little bit of money. That doesn't just cost time. That costs a little bit of money. But that's something that I have planned for myself because I know I need it. But I want to give y'all 3 quick and effective self-care tips that aren't going to cost you any money, that y'all can apply starting right now. So the first one is deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing is a simple yet a powerful self-care practice that can be done anywhere, anytime. It helps reduce and promote relaxation. It helps recharge yourself. This is really, really good if you find yourself upset, angry, sad, irritated, and you just need to calm down. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to find yourself a quiet space to sit and or stand comfortably. I prefer to sit. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to count to 4 as you exhale. You're counting to 4 as you're exhaling. After you exhale, you're going to hold for a count of 4. You're exhaling slowly through your mouth. You repeat this cycle several times, and this helps you focus on your breathing, which lets go of tension with each cycle. Refresh that, Joshua, because it's not telling me you have any requests.
Oh, right. I didn't press accent message.
Okay. Again, for those of you who are just joining me and you're coming in late and you hear me talking to the side, so I am homeschooling this school year. So occasionally my son needs me to give him access to things on his computer. Y'all know going on in the world today, we just don't have everything unlocked. So he needs to ask permission for certain websites and certain things. So just bear with me, be patient with me while I do that for him. Okay. So moving back to the deep breathing exercise. Again, I'm going to read you out the steps that you need to do. You're going to find a quiet space to either sit or stand comfortably. I recommend sitting. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to count to 4 as you inhale. Hold your breath for a count of 4, and you slowly exhale for a count of 4. This makes you focus on your breathing, and it allows you to let go of tension. This is basic self-care. Allows you to get present and in the moment. Another thing you can do that's a free, easy to do self-care is to do mindful mini breaks. So take short breaks throughout your day to practice mindfulness. This helps you stay grounded and reduce stress. Again, if you have an Apple Watch, they have an app on there called Mindfulness, and it usually starts in the morning and in the evening. But it allows you to pause, and I love it because it has vibrations on your wrist, and it makes you take deep breaths in, deep breaths out. They tell you to close your eyes. You're going to tune into your senses by noticing what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you smell. It's bringing your attention to the present moments to let go of any worries about your past or future. We're taking in the moment to appreciate the small things around us, like the warmth of the sun or even the taste of the coffee that you're drinking at that moment. So those are things that I want you to keep in mind. Taking mindful breaks throughout the day. And they don't have to be super long breaks. They could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Up to you. You find what works for you. Another self-care moment that you can take that doesn't cost you it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Gratitude journaling. I told y'all how I have a routine. I start my day with spending time with God and self-reflection, going over my goals, my purpose in life, my vision. So this is my reflection journal. I bought this on Amazon. I think it came in a pack of like 6, and it might have been $10, maybe 12. If you guys are interested, DM me and I'll send you the link. Just a quick short notebook. But in it, you are going to write little notes to yourself. Gratitude notes. What am I grateful for today? Well, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful my son is alive. I'm grateful that my mom is alive and well and whole and healthy. Writing down things that you're grateful for in the moment, because later on when you're having an overwhelming moment, you can look back at that and go, you know what? I know I'm having a challenge right now, but this challenge is not going to end my life. It's just an obstacle I need to overcome. But look at all these things I have to be grateful for. Let me reflect on them and why I'm so grateful for them. Let me savor this moment. And over time, this practice can shift your focus towards more positive aspects of life and increase your overall sense of well-being. So you're not always thinking the bad, the negative, and the challenges that you're dealing with. We're thinking about grateful moments. So those are the 3 things or ways of self-care that you can implement today. That's mindful mini breaks, deep breathing exercises, and a gratitude journal or a self-reflection journal. Now, this is an opportunity where I want to let you guys ask me any questions over any of the information I've shared with you, but don't go anywhere because I do have more information to share with y'all and something for free. So let me just check because I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I have a video recording for YouTube. So let me just see if there are any questions so far. Okay, so no questions on Facebook. Let's see if we have any here on Instagram. Okay, and no questions on Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. That tripod's a little wobbly. Okay, so I said I was going to share something with you. Something was free. I want to quickly tell you about some products and services that I do offer in my company that are great for self-care for busy moms. So right now, we have tickets to our next Luxe Spa Party, which is called The Escape. It's going to be October 22nd. From 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. This is an all-day luxury event. You're going to come in. We're going to have a tea tasting. I have a tea expert, Robin Boykin, coming in to speak with us. She's going to tell us about the best teas to help treat concerns that we have, maybe cramping, headaches. She's going to tell us the best teas to serve hot, cold, and we're going to get to taste all the teas that she tells us about. Then we are going to jump into spa services. After spa services, I have a lunch prepared for you all. Then we're going to go into a mindful meditation and stretching class, more spa services, and throughout the day there will be champagne and light bites and snacks. So there's plenty of food, plenty of drinks, but the whole point is for you guys to come in, my moms and my wives, and to disengage from your responsibilities, but come and engage with yourself and other people just like you. We're going to come in, turn off the work, and the work means our home lives, our husbands, our children's, and our day jobs. We're going to come in and refill our cups, recharge our batteries. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Some form of self-care is a necessity for you. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you about. It's an intimate event, and right now, let me actually do a refresh on my system, and I can tell y'all how many tickets we have left. Again, this event is October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. It is going to be located here in Houston, Texas. I have the Cochran Oriental, which is this beautiful home here in Houston. I have the entire place reserved, so it's just us, J Fields Co., myself and my team. We're going to come in and we're going to take care of you guys all day. While that's loading, actually, I'll tell you about the spa services that you can choose from. So you have an option to choose a facial. You can choose yoni steaming. You can choose a detox sauna, which is going to help you drop inches, get rid of the water weight. So it helps you look and feel really great. We have foot treatments and we have back treatments. So back treatment is a lot like a facial, but for the back. So let me make sure I've gotten all of the treatments that we'll have. Yes, I've named them all: sauna detox, yoni steam, back treatment, foot treatment, facial. And as of right now, we have 9 tickets left. 9 tickets left. So if you guys are interested in that, it's a great opportunity for you guys to come in and get completely pampered. Go to luxespaparty.com. I'll drop the link in the comments. You just go and you can go ahead and secure your ticket. The number one question I constantly get is there a payment plan? Yes, there is a payment plan. It's Afterpay. So it's a third-party service that you're going to be going through. You're not going through me. So don't ask me if you're approved, if you're denied, when your payment is due, any of that. You're going to go straight directly through Afterpay. As soon as you go through it, you'll immediately get a response from myself and my team saying thank you for your purchase and giving you more specific details. After you make the purchase, you'll get the exact address of our location. But if you've been to my website, you should be able to see that too. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Also, for self-care, a product that I recommend, we have some bath soaks at the spa that we sell. There's one that's really great for encouraging sleep. So it's made with lavender. That's really good for at nighttime, right before you go to bed. Soak in the tub in that one. And then I have another one for sore muscles. So if you work a little bit of a labor intensive job, or you're packing around a bunch of toddlers or babies, the sore muscle bath soak is going to be really good. That one's made with peppermint and eucalyptus, so it really breaks down the tension in the muscles and relaxes you, encourages deep breathing. That's, again, a really good one. And those products, if you go onto the website, if you order in the next 15 minutes, it actually will ship today. So any orders placed before 12 noon Central Time normally will ship the same day. We'll always send you a notification if something comes up and when it is shipped. But as I'm sitting here, I actually would love to bless a mom or a wife who needs a boost in the self-care area. So if you know someone, even if it's you who needs to add self-care into your life, tag yourself or tag your friends down in the comments. And I'm going to reach out to 2 people and send them a free soak. But here's the caveat. Whoever is tagged, they need to be following my page. I'm going to select 2 people at random. And once I've selected those 2 people, I'll make sure I make a note in here that the giveaway is closed. But I want to bless 2 people with a free soak. So just tag yourself or someone else you know who truly, truly deserves or needs it. Okay, ladies, I have been talking for about 35 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have an amazing, amazing Thursday. I highly encourage you to implement some self-care starting today. Comment below what you're going to do and just telling me that you're going to start doing more self-care for yourself so that you can take care of yourself better and in turn take care of your friends, family, and other responsibilities. Y'all have an amazing day.